Hi guys, so today I was thinking, of course we're all waiting for something massive to happen, right? So I was just thinking, how does Mueller feel about the Kavanaugh confirmation, right? Because I get this almost like a thrill, thinking of things going down. And there was a reading I did, I guess a prediction for today. It was really massive and very intense, and I don't think it happened necessarily today, but I believe it's coming. Okay, it's about the day of reckoning for the Republicans. Okay, so I was thinking that, and I was like, well, of course Mueller seems very rational, right? And he'll not. I wonder if he would really disrupt the whole hearing. Okay, because I wonder, guys, how much of it is. I thought he was going to do something by the end of what is it, indict people by the end of what is it called, September, right? Not September. I'm sorry, the Republicans, like now. But what if he's waiting for the Kavanaugh confirmation? Because the other thing that I was thinking, and I'm going to do a separate reading on this, is that Mueller, like if I saw, when I did the reading about Rosenstein, and he features prominently in all of this, many people mentioned, well, he's close to Kavanaugh, or he's friends with Kavanaugh, and he clearly is somewhat connected to Don McGahn as well. So all these people have relationships, right? Someone was like, well, I don't know that Rosenstein is going to do something, okay, against Kavanaugh, but I'm thinking, well, if he doesn't, if everything is going to work the way the Republicans want, then how do you say it? Then having Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court means Rosenstein is out of a job. You know what I mean? Because he's the guy. It's like it's going to work against the goals of the Mueller investigation. Okay, so that's pretty obvious to me. Anyway, so this is why I think Rosenstein is going to be. He's on self-preservation mode. Okay. Now, the question is then, what does Mueller think of the Kavanaugh confirmation hearing? What does he think of Kavanaugh? And is he waiting for, how does he think of the indictments in terms of timing as they relate to the Kavanaugh investigation? Okay, not investigation, confirmation. Okay, so let's ask. So, okay, so. Okay, guys, so two things. He's watching, I see him watching on not watching on television like we do, but kind of, he knows it's on, so he's watching that. And he sees, interesting, the image of the Kavanaugh coming in, the image I get is almost like he's coming from a Russian womb. Like there's what is it called? Like some sort of internal tunnel. Okay, almost like if it were like comes from the body, or it would be like, I don't know what uterus, whatever it is. But he was bred. I had the fertility treatment, IVF. We want, you know what I mean? He was like made in a lab, kind of, to fulfill those interests. So it showed that for the Russians, it's not just a matter of the presidency or the Congress, it's also the judicial system. And this is why they're investing heavily on him, okay? So what I got from Mueller, though, is that the gambling debts of Kavanaugh, and I think I've seen this before, guys, but it's more specific from Mueller's perspective, is that Kavanaugh, there's a group that supports Kavanaugh, and it's one of those, what is called dark money groups, okay? And within this dark money group, I see two people who are Russian, okay? Two high, I guess, since he's looking into all these things, he's seeing that there's these two people who are influential, okay, and have given money to Kavanaugh, right, indirectly or whatever. So that's one thing. Another is that there's documents, there's intelligence, picked up intelligence from, I guess, Russia even, that they're happy, they hope that he can go in because they have to it's not enough to get Trump in, it's not enough to have all the compromise on the Republicans. They have the judicial system, like I've said before, guys, is the final layer, okay, and this is why it's a big deal for them. So he's saying that the other thing I got was like, oh, it's the plan. What is this plan? So the plan is really they have this vision of a system that they want to create, okay? And I think they have discussed it, all of it, okay? And yeah. So, I'm reminded, guys, of this. I've read this book by Peter Thiel. I talk about him all the time, but I actually like, in some ways I liked his book. He's a very intelligent person. It's just that we don't take it, when those far right people say things, we don't take it seriously because it's the same. It's like this confirmation. We don't believe it, right? So no, there's no way somebody would think that. But they write it, and we think it's not real. But anyway, so one of the things he said, I don't know if it was on his book or it was one of the essays that people often quote. He actually published, the Cato Institute. It's the Koch brothers institute. Something that is often quoted about him. He said that democracy is not compatible with the society that he wants to build, or something like that. There was just something about democracy not being democracy will not achieve what he wants. It didn't say it in these words, but there was something like that. The other thing he said is that, and I remember thinking that was shady, but now that we see it in practice, I understand what he's saying better, which is that, as he said, women and minorities, it was almost, he said something like, it was something to the, I'm paraphrasing here, okay? So he said something like giving rights to women and minorities is not a good thing because those constituencies are always going to be against the ideas that we have. Okay, so that's basically it. This is the core of the reason. It's not just that they are racist or that they hate women, which I think both are true, is that for them it's a colder decision than that. It's like they know that people like us basically are never going to be, down with the bullshit they want because it's harmful to us. Those people ultimately know that. So anyway, so what I'm saying to you is that this idea of essentially killing democracy is at the core of their plan. And when I say the thing about the plan, Mueller is saying there's this plan, the big plan, is that it goes beyond the Trump election and it goes right into the Congress and it goes into the judicial system. So let me just go back here. So is Mueller what is Mueller going to do about it? Does he think that stopping what is he going to do about it? What is his position, considering that Kavanaugh essentially wants to kill the Mueller investigation over another? What is his decision going to be? How does he see this? You guys, it's very complicated, okay, that I'm seeing here, because from his perspective, basically, there's many layers, right? These people are involved in several things. So it's showing that the Republicans, the thing with the Republicans for right now is the NRA money. So they have Maria Butina. They have already started flipping a lot of people related to the NRA. We don't know about it yet, obviously. So that's how that is how the Republicans are going. Like I said before, they're going to go down mostly for this. But what he's showing is that he sees he doesn't take stuff personally, okay, because obviously you would think, okay, so he could be acting out of self-preservation. But what it's showing really is that he needs to indict these people that have done the shady things in terms of kind of campaign finance laws, okay? So what he's doing is he has to watch for he does not want to be he wants to be the opposite of Trump. He does not want to disrupt the government in any way. So I think he's trying to maybe, I don't know, I've said before, guys, I thought it was going to happen soon. Who knows? I feel like I can't even do the timing correctly anymore or whatever, but I still feel like he wants to try to do it in a way that is not disruptive. And I don't know how he's going to be able to do it, okay? So basically, and it's showing that he's already laid the groundwork for this when a couple of Republicans, there was one, and I think I forgot somewhere, is it Arkansas somewhere? I don't remember. And then the guy from California, okay? There was they're already getting Republicans for campaign finance violations, okay? So that's the beginning. But what it suggests here, is that he does not want to create some sort of revolution or, some big blowout thing. He's very careful. He tends to be much more cold-minded. Like I said, he doesn't take things personally, but he's just he's thinking he does not want to disrupt anything. And I feel like he's ready, like I said before, guys. Maybe what is it, that term? Okay. Do these indictments exist and are they sealed? Yeah, I think they exist, guys, like I said. And I feel like he's waiting for the right moment to drop them, okay? Because this one indictment, okay, and again, it showed Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, and several others, because it's showing the whole thing with this conspiracy. I always talk about the plan, right? So what is this plan? Is that they're getting a lot of input from Moscow too, in terms of what they want. And they are kind of giving tips about how to do this, right? Because I'm sorry to say, guys, but it's the truth. What they look at Russia, they're like, oh, it's a great system. Oh yeah, we want to do what he does. So this is why they're getting tips. Let's get tips from him. So there's evidence, okay, that in a way, it's not that they're constantly on the phone with them, but it's more subtle than that. But I feel like Mueller can prove that there is here. And again, I'm getting to learn something. There's just a sense here that guys, so sad to say, but it's showing as a restaurant. The Russians order something, okay, or that there's place an order, or the Republicans place an order. This is what we want, or whatever it is. It's just it's like the quid pro quo idea, right? You pay and you get something back. So they're working coordination. This is the coordination situation, but. Yes, I think these indictments exist, and NRA is just how they start with the money. Okay, once they have the proof that the money went to all these accounts, then they have the beginning of the case. Okay, and so there's a lot of evidence. Oh, and this is okay. So the thing that they have to be careful about, and this is why they're kind of, I feel like there's just a lot of stuff that's under seal, and they're waiting for the right timing in order to drop everything, because they know how all the consequences that could happen, okay, all the disruption and all of those things, okay, and this is why they're doing it extremely secretively. And for some reason, guys, I'm getting Kushner again, and it's showing that, and I'm like, wait, was he subpoenaed or whatever? Is there people testifying against him? It's showing that the thing with Kushner is so secretive that I don't know that they have a. It's much more secretive than the others, okay? Than the ones, for example, Roger Stone and stuff like that. It's just that they have to have all these pieces in place in order to show the hand, okay? And like I said, Mueller is not like Trump. We're used to the Trump way by now, right? Which is like creating chaos and bullshit all the time. But it's showing that Mueller is like, I want to create as little disruption as possible. So he's just trying to have all the pieces together because it's like flipping the omelet, right? So it's like once he does it, boom, everything comes out, but it has to come out at once. And this is why, okay? So guys, yeah, like I said, I think timing is difficult with so much shifting, okay? And I do think, many people have said they think it's going to be after the elections, but I don't know how they're going to be able to do this. If they don't do it before the election, then so much could happen. Because I feel like like I've said before, I believe Mueller has intercepted that they had plans for this current election here. So anyway, so I just feel like that's what I think. Okay, I think we're safe, you know what I mean, in the sense that they already have a lot of evidence, but they don't want to just give out information that would tip the other side into knowing what they have already. So this is it, guys, okay? So I think Mueller is willing to wait until a moment where the whole thing with Kavanaugh is either towards the end or something where it doesn't disrupt. Like Mueller does not want it to make, obviously does not want to make this about him. And it's very difficult, this whole thing, but I think he knows all of these things, okay? So that's that. Okay, I'm gonna stop here.